think that we're on the right track because of the confirmation and validation that we receive from other people, whether that be friends, family, work colleagues, professors, you name it. But do we ever stop to think to ourselves, what if we're wrong? What we chase will be the topic for today's video. I'm Steve, founder and creator of Voices Beyond Boundaries. I would appreciate a like and a subscribe if this video resonates with you and you look forward to authentic and real content. So, the things that I'm going to talk about are all things that I've experienced myself and I've contemplated on and have really thought about. And my videos aren't going to have a script like what you're most likely used to. I'm going to flow from the heart and give you personal examples and kind of what I've came to the conclusion of based off of my observations within myself and the observations that I see throughout society and just going out and about because I'm a big people watcher. So the first thing, and I'm sure that it's not a surprise to anybody, is money. Money. We are all chasing money. You want a higher raise. You want a better job so you can make more money. You want to win the lottery. You gamble so you can make more money. Money becomes the object of our desires. Why though? Do we ever stop to ask, why are we chasing the money? Is the money really what we're after? Well, I've thought about this quite a bit because I've been stuck in that path where I'm chasing money and I end up feeling empty inside. Well, it turns out that money really isn't what we're chasing. It's the freedom that money buys because money is ultimately a tool. Saying that, one should respect money and not make frivolous decisions with your money. Money is a tool. It's the tool that buys you freedom. Freedom to go on that trip that you want to go to. Freedom to live where you want to live. Freedom to eat at that nice restaurant. Freedom to buy the clothes that you want to wear. Ultimately, when we boil it down, freedom is what we really want. We want the freedom to do as we please. Of course, there's going to be a sacrifice that comes with that, but I'm trying to boil it down for everyone so you understand that perhaps you're not chasing money and you're really chasing the freedom. Another thing that money buys that is the most important thing is time. We cannot buy our time back. So with that money, the tool, we can hire a landscaper to cut our grass. We can hire someone to make our food. We can hire a babysitter so we can go to the places that we want to go to on a date night. We use that tool also to automate things within our lives. We all have certain subscription services that save us time. Essentially, we use the money to save us time on a lot of things that I'm not even thinking about right now, but you get my drift. Time is the most valuable asset that we have. So with money, we can have more time, which in turn gives us the freedom to do what we want to do. So let that sink in. You're chasing money, but in reality, you're really chasing freedom, which is brought about through saving time for you to be able to do what you really want to do. The next thing that I've chased, and I'm sure a lot of people have either chased or are currently chasing, even if they don't realize it, but maybe if they stop, think to themselves, well, maybe I am chasing that, is status and power. Status and power. Those two things are, everybody's chasing them. at some point, or everybody has chased them at some point. Status. We ever stop to think to ourselves, why are we chasing status? Why do we care so much? Why do we care? It's the same reason that it took me so long to launch a video and actually start rolling. We ultimately care too much about what other people think about us because we don't want our status to be diminished, whatever it may be. And with that status, we're able to enter into spheres of influence that we might otherwise not be able to. So people protect their status, which in turn goes in with reputation, almost with our lives. So the status is, it's one of those things where we're chasing it and we lose sight on what we're really trying to do. And at times it can have you compromise who you really are and your own authenticity because you're chasing the status. You're chasing this dragon that you're most likely not going to get to, because as soon as you get to that point, you're going to want to get to another point, which leads me into power. We chase power. We want power. But why? Why do we want power so bad? Why do we want power so bad? What is it about power that attracts so many people? And it's having control over others. It's having that influence, the status over others, where we can make the decisions that influence the tides. But the reality is, if we don't have power over ourselves and we're not able to cultivate our own discipline, then why do we want to control everything else? I see it as a coping mechanism of sorts, where we want to assert power over other people, things, because we cannot assert that same power within ourselves because we're not willing to look within ourselves. So when you look at it like that, you start thinking to yourself, why am I chasing power? It's a waste of time. It's gonna come if I'm worthy of that power, because with great power comes great responsibility. You can't just wield power like a reckless person, because you're gonna hurt not only yourself but other people around you. We see this everywhere, from the highest of levels without getting too into the weeds with it, to the lowest of levels. With great power comes great responsibility. You want to be able to wield that power responsibly when it does come to you. And it's only going to come in the way that it should when you are worthy of that power. And the only way that you're worthy of that power is if you deem yourself worthy. And that's going to come through doing what your life's purpose is that you're supposed to be doing. Look, when we think of status, status is like a house, right? You have to build a foundation, a nice foundation, strong bones, and then an outer layer that can withstand the storms. If you build your status and your power off of lies and not being authentic to yourself, then you're only playing yourself. You're only lying to yourself. And eventually, it will catch up. Everything has its time, and if you're not being real to yourself, then it will catch up with you. We all have to deal with things, but I'm just explaining things that I've experienced myself, and it takes being introspective and looking into yourself to realize that status and power really aren't the things to chase. The third thing that I see so many people chase, myself included, once again, all three of these have an aspect that I've chased at one point or another, and it's love. We chase love. Some of us just love to love. We love to love. And we don't realize that we're trying to fill in a void that can only be filled with love for ourselves. We have to accept ourselves for who we are. We have to accept the bad parts, and we have to accept the good parts. Now, if you're seeing yourself only from a positive light and you're not able to see the negative aspects of yourself, then maybe take another look, because I assure you there's going to be things about yourself that you might not want to confront and face. But the sooner that you confront and face those parts of yourself, the more you will appreciate the positive sides of yourself, and then you'll be able to integrate them, because there's no light without dark, there's no rain without sunshine. So you need both of them in order to live a fulfilling life, in order to feel the things that you're supposed to feel within this world. When you don't love yourself and you love to love, it becomes a toxic cycle. It's almost like you're not trying to see that negative aspect, so you go and you try to fill that void with another relationship or another fling or whatever. But then you still feel empty. And that emptiness, that void, is because you don't really love yourself. You don't love every part of yourself. I have flaws. We all have flaws. It's okay. That's what makes us perfect. Our authenticity is what makes us perfect. The imperfection makes perfection. I strive for perfection all the time. It's so hard for me to turn in a finished product because I want it to be the best that it possibly can, but it is what it is. You are who you are. We are who we are. Accept it. Grow. Another thing is, to give love is to receive love. You can't receive love or expect yourself to get love from everywhere else when you are unable to give love to yourself first. How are you going to give love to others? Think about that. Stop chasing love. Love yourself first, or you'll be working at a deficit and chasing your tail. So, how do we get out of those paradigms? How do we get out of chasing money, chasing status and power, chasing love? Well, the way to get out of that paradigm is to chase a vision. Chase what makes you happy. Think about when you were a kid. Think about what you enjoyed doing the most before that was tainted, or before reality sunk in. Think about those things. Think about what you were naturally good at, what you enjoyed doing. When you chase the things that matter the most to you, it doesn't become a zero-sum game. It doesn't become, I have to chase this because I need this. No, you just do it organically. It just happens. Things just happen to unfold. Chase the service. Chase the goal of wanting to be of service to others. And how do we be of service to others? We have to really hone in on what we're good at and what we enjoy doing. Because when we have that natural passion, that sparkle in our eyes, that thing that found us, where we're asking, why did this find me? Why is this even a thing? How? Why now? Let that go. Just keep going, and the answers will come to you when they need to. And sometimes we don't really need to chase anything. We just need to follow our bliss, let things unfold naturally, and we would be very, very surprised at how things unfold and how life puts you right where you need to be when you have those intentions, when you are wanting to be of service to others, when you are passionate about what you have to bring to the table, and you don't really care about all the other stuff. You don't care about making the most money. It's going to come. It will come. If you are following what is true to you, money will come. The status and power will come too. But now, the world's going to know that you can handle it because you're not doing it for the most selfish reason. You're doing it because you want to help others. And then love. You will find love. When you're loving yourself, when you love yourself, everything else will work out. Follow your dreams. Follow what whoever said to you wasn't going to work. Follow it. Follow it. Even if it doesn't work, even if you follow something and it doesn't work, it will put you on the trajectory you need to be and on the place that you need to be where you can flourish. Things don't make sense all the time. They don't. Sometimes what we consider a win is really a loss. And sometimes when we feel like, wow, this is happening to me again, or wow, this didn't work out, and you get all upset about it, sometimes when you look back on it, you're like, well, wow, that put me where I'm at now. And if that wouldn't have happened, then I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. I wouldn't have the experience to share with everybody else. And that's what's the most important, is the experience. Because when you have that experience and you have those experiences, you're able to share that with others and help them along their path. Closing out with this video, I'm going to leave you with the question. What are you chasing? Why? Does it make you happy? Does it fulfill you? Until next time.